In 2054, humanity's fascination with space reached new heights. Scientists at the Global Space Observatory (GSO) had been scouring the stars for decades, hoping for even the faintest sign of extraterrestrial life. Then, one evening, a strange signal interrupted their usual operations. At first, it seemed like just another anomaly, a glitch from a satellite or a rare cosmic event. But soon, it became clear that this was no ordinary signal. The pulse was rhythmic, almost intentional, repeating itself in a pattern that was too consistent to ignore. Something somewhere was trying to communicate. As the team examined the signal, they realized it wasn't a random occurrence. The sequence wasn't just noise, it was organized, complex, and intelligent. The world began to buzz with speculation. Was this the first proof that we were not alone in the universe, or was it something more? The signal seemed to have a purpose, as if someone or something was watching humanity, waiting for the right moment to make itself known. Days passed, and the scientists at GSO tirelessly tried to decode the signal. They worked around the clock, their curiosity driving them forward. Then, something even stranger occurred. The signal changed. It wasn't just repeating anymore, it was evolving, adjusting, and seemingly responding to their attempts to understand it. The world was captivated, hanging on every new piece of information that was uncovered. This was no longer just a signal from the stars. This was a message, and humanity was now at the center of an intergalactic puzzle that would test its very understanding of reality. But as the team dug deeper, they began to sense something more unsettling. This signal wasn't just a one-way communication. It was as if the source was aware of their efforts, aware of them. For weeks, the signal continued to shift, evolving with a logic that was beyond human comprehension. Yet, with each new breakthrough, the team found themselves wondering if they were the ones being led, or if something far larger was quietly pushing them toward a revelation they weren't prepared for. Could it be that this message was only the beginning, and if it was, what was coming next? The suspense grew unbearable as scientists around the globe waited for the next phase of the signal to unfold, unsure of what they would discover next. After weeks of decoding the signal, the GSO team made a breakthrough. Hidden within the complex pulses and sequences was something unexpected, a second, smaller message. It was subtle, almost like a whisper within the larger noise, but it was there. The message was simple yet profound: look to the sky. The answer is near. The discovery stunned everyone. What did it mean? The phrase wasn't just a vague instruction, it felt like a clue, an invitation. The team wasn't sure whether it was a challenge or a gift, but it was clear that the message wasn't just about the signal itself. It was about something greater, something that might be right in front of them. The clue seemed to suggest that the answer they sought wasn't hidden deep in space but closer to home, something visible, perhaps, in the night sky. The idea that this answer could be so close to Earth, waiting to be uncovered, sent waves of excitement and confusion throughout the scientific community. Dr. Clara Winters, the lead scientist on the project, called an emergency meeting. The message was so precise, it seemed deliberate, like a push toward an even deeper truth. What could the signal mean by near? Did it imply another message hidden within the stars, or was it suggesting a revelation that was waiting on Earth, perhaps tied to humanity itself? The team began revisiting old data, scanning the skies once again with fresh eyes, hoping to uncover some hidden pattern or celestial anomaly that could shed light on the message's meaning. As they analyzed the patterns more closely, they discovered a shocking possibility: the signal wasn't just something coming from the stars. There were elements of it that seemed to be coming from Earth itself. Not from the surface, but from an uncharted, remote location. It was a startling realization: the signal had never truly originated from the distant stars at all. Something on Earth was manipulating it. But who or what could be sending a signal across time and space? The team was on the verge of a discovery that could change everything. What began as a search for extraterrestrial life had now turned into a race to uncover a secret buried on Earth for generations. They were no longer just searching the stars. They were searching for the truth within their own world. As the team dug deeper, an unsettling truth began to take shape. They traced the signal's origins, not to distant galaxies or alien worlds, but to an isolated underground facility, one that had been completely off the grid. The facility was located in a remote, uncharted region, hidden, almost deliberately so. What was even more disturbing was that the facility had been there for far longer than anyone had realized. Dr. Winters, unable to shake the growing sense of dread, managed to secure classified data from long-abandoned government archives. As she sifted through the files, the pieces began to fall into place. The facility wasn't new. It had been built over 100 years ago, long before the rise of the space programs. It had been part of a secret mission, a group of astronauts who had disappeared while attempting a deep space exploration. Their goal had been to travel far beyond the solar system, but something went wrong. The ship they were on was lost, presumed destroyed. But the truth was far more bizarre. The crew had never reached another planet. Instead, they had entered a strange, time-warping zone in space, an area where time flowed differently. And somehow, they had been trapped there for generations. The astronauts had aged differently, living in an environment where time didn't behave as it should. But they had never truly disappeared. They had found a way to communicate using the very technology they had created. The signals that humanity had been receiving weren't from aliens, they were from these long-lost astronauts, their descendants, who had evolved and adapted in isolation, growing into a new form of humanity over the centuries. The message, "Look to the sky. The answer is near," now made sense. It wasn't a call to look beyond the stars, but a call to look closer at their own past. The scientists hadn't just stumbled upon the signals. They were part of a larger, intricate plan. The descendants of the lost astronauts had been guiding humanity for years, subtly influencing history, nudging humanity toward progress at the right moments. They had been waiting for the right time to reveal themselves, to reconnect with Earth, and now that time had come. But there was a choice ahead. The final part of the video message sent to Dr. Winters was chilling in its simplicity. "The time to reveal the truth is coming. But you must choose: will you accept us, or will you stop our return?" The realization hit like a wave. Humanity was faced with a decision that would change everything. Would they welcome the return of their long-lost descendants, evolved into something far beyond what they had imagined, or would they resist, choosing to keep the past buried and their future in their own hands? The fate of humanity's connection to its future was now in their hands. The signal had gone silent again, leaving humanity suspended in uncertainty. The astronauts' descendants had played their part, but the next move was up to Earth. Would they embrace the unknown or close the door forever? The world held its breath, waiting for an answer that could alter the course of history and maybe even the future of the human race itself. As the world waited, tension simmered in every corner of society. News outlets, government officials, and even ordinary people were caught in the web of uncertainty, wondering what would happen next. Some believed the message was an opportunity, a chance to reconnect with a part of humanity long lost to time and space. Others were afraid, uncertain of what the future would hold if these long-hidden descendants returned. The fear of the unknown loomed large. Could they trust these beings, who had evolved beyond anything humanity could comprehend, or were they a threat, a force that could disrupt the delicate balance of the world. The decision was not an easy one. Governments around the world convened, forming secret meetings, debates, and even heated arguments. Some wanted to embrace the message, welcoming the return of the lost astronauts and their descendants. Others argued that humanity needed to remain independent, that the return of these beings could lead to chaos. Amidst the uncertainty, Dr. Winters remained focused, knowing that the truth had to come to light, no matter the consequences. Then, in a quiet moment, a final message appeared. This one wasn't cryptic. It was simple, yet powerful: we are you. You are us. The time has come. At that moment, Dr. Winters understood. The message wasn't about accepting or rejecting the descendants of the astronauts. It was about realizing that humanity's future and its past were intricately tied together. The line between them had blurred long ago. The humans in the underground facility were not some alien race, they were a part of Earth's history, part of humanity's journey, and now their time had come to rejoin the world. The decision was made. Humanity had to embrace its future, no matter how strange or unexpected it might seem. As the first contact was made, the world watched as the descendants of the lost astronauts slowly emerged from their hidden facility, not as invaders, but as long-lost family, ready to share their knowledge and history. The universe had always seemed vast, but in the end, it wasn't the stars that held the key, it was humanity itself. The greatest discovery wasn't finding life beyond Earth, but realizing that life, in all its forms, had always been a part of their own history. The truth wasn't out there in the stars, it had always been within, waiting for humanity to understand that its greatest mystery was not the universe, but the potential within themselves. The future was no longer something to fear, it was something to embrace. And so, the signal that had started it all faded into history, leaving behind a new world where the lines between past, present, and future had become one. A new era of humanity began, an era built on the understanding that sometimes, the weirdest part of being human is simply realizing how much of the universe we already carry inside us.